Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Reviews. Quick something before we start. I was going to use video for this review. I had my friend lend me his DVDs and everything, but I don't want my video to get flagged by Funimation. I mean, I don't even know if that would happen, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Anyway, as always, I will attempt to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. Now, on to the review. Shuffle is a romantic comedy harem anime that was produced by Studio Asread in 2005, and it was directed by Naoto Soda. Shuffle is a visual novel adaptation. The VN, released by Navel the year before, was a big hit, and it came second in sales, losing only to Fate Stay Night. 10 years ago, a portal opened linking the worlds of the humans, gods, and demons together. Since then, the gods and the demons have been migrating to the human world for some reason. Around that same time, our main character, Rin Tsuchimi, lost his parents in a car accident. Rin's friend, Kaide Fuyo, lost her mother in the same accident, and Rin has been living with Kaide and her father ever since. Fast forward to the present day, Rin and Kaide are sitting in class when the kings, the gods, and the demons walk in and, in turn, tell him that if he marries their daughter, Rin may gain all the powers of either the gods or the demons. Apparently, Rin met both princesses around the same time of the accident with his parents, and they've loved him ever since. From there, the plot pretty much goes where you'd expect it to go. Being a VN adaptation, it does follow a pattern that most VN adaptations follow. They introduce the girls, they all get a few episodes for their arc, and then after it gets a little more serious, in dramatic fashion, the protag and the main heroine get together. And while Shuffle does do this to a degree, it's executed a little differently, which is nice. There really are only two things I don't like about harems. When the guy doesn't pick a girl at the end, or if he does, it's always the girl who showed up first. Thankfully, Shuffle doesn't pull any of that bullshit. The only thing in Shuffle that actually bugged me, I'd say, if you pay attention in the last episode, they kinda give away the climax, and honestly, that really sucks. It does kinda take away from the ending, but it still manages to have a decent ending that wraps everything up nicely. Well, let's start off with our leading man, Rin. First, I believe there are three kinds of guys who star in harem shows. The spineless nice guy, the idiot nice guy, or the perverted nice guy. Rin is none of those, actually. He's a great friend, he's very kind, and he's honestly just your average guy. He's not really an idiot, he's not perverted, and he's not a coward. He's actually a likable person. I guess you could say he actually deserves this harem, if that's even possible. Kaide here is Rin's childhood friend. She's very devoted to Rin and loves nothing more than taking care of him. Most of the time, she pretty much acts like his wife. She does have her reasons for doing this, and it's for more than just love, though that's spoiler territory. I never noticed it until I rewatched Shuffle for the review, but Kaide is a really well-developed character. Maybe I just didn't notice it before, because I didn't really like Kaide, and I still don't really. But I like what they did with her character, and I can appreciate him. Lysianthus, or Sia as she prefers being called, is the princess from the world of the gods. She's very outgoing, loving, energetic, honestly just a really fun person to be around. And she's also a polygamist who likes to occasionally whack people in the head with chairs. Sia's always trying to spend time with Rin, and they do grow closer because of this. However, Sia lets her friendship with Kaide and Narine get in the way, and she backs off because she doesn't want to hog Rin all to herself. Which, to me, seems a little, I don't know, fucking stupid. Narine is the princess from the world of the demons, though for a demon she isn't very menacing, quite the opposite actually. That is, unless you start bad-mouthing Rin. She's the shy, graceful type, gets good grades, is bad at cooking and sports. I don't really care for Narine all that much, and there isn't too much else to talk about without going into spoilers. Asa-chan, I didn't say anything. Shut up. Asa is Rin and Kaide's senpai and has been their friend for a long time, often greeting Rin with a hard slap on the back. Rin and Asa often talk, and he asks her for advice a lot, so they become much closer over the course of the series. Asa is very energetic and a cheerful person. She just tries to live every day to the fullest. She's also a huge flirt and often has fun teasing Rin. She doesn't usually let on that things are bothering her, and she tends to just dismiss them with a smile. She also really dislikes magic for reasons that I can't get into. Lastly, we have Primala, though everyone just calls her Rimu. Rimu is Narine's little sister and came from the demon world to meet Rin since her sisters always talked about him. She instantly became very attached to him and refused to go home, but after a little pleading she ends up living with Rin and Kaide. Turns out that Rimu was created as a test subject for magical purposes. Because of this, she doesn't really express much emotion. One of the reasons she was allowed to live with Rin and Kaide was that the kings thought if Rimu learned how to show more emotion, maybe she would be able to control and harness more of her power. Visually, when it comes to the main characters at least, I've always liked just how bright and colorful Shuffle is. The art is detailed, and it looks pretty nice considering the show's almost 9 years old now. The animation is pretty decent at times too. However, art and animation wise, the supporting cast doesn't get as much love. The soundtrack has a nice mix of light and upbeat tunes and some more somber piano tracks. I really rather like the piano tracks, and they sound really nice. But that being said, I wouldn't really praise the soundtrack as a whole. Besides the opening, You, performed by Yuria, which is a nice upbeat J-rock song, there's no real standout track on the soundtrack. As for the voice acting, I'd like to say there is nothing wrong with the performances of the Japanese cast. I'm sure some of you have already left after that. My point is, I prefer the dub. One reason for this is I know everyone really likes Rin's voice actor, Tomokazu Sugita, who's well known for voicing Gintoki from Gintama. I don't hate him or anything like that. I just don't really think his voice suits a teenager. The other reason that I like the dub is, it just has a lot of my favorite dub actors. Like Lucy Christian, Vic Mignogna, Jerry Jewell, Carrie Savage, Monica Rial. Carrie actually does a fantastic job as Kaide, and I think it's her best performance yet. I've heard lots of mixed reviews about Shuffle. Mainly about whether or not Shuffle actually did anything different, or whether it's just another harem anime. Personally, I think it is different. I think the director maybe just tried to break some of the tropes that are really common in harem anime. It's not something groundbreaking or something you'd write home about, but it's the nice kind of different. Shuffle gets good marks for being quite funny. The ending is an actual ending, none of that Tula-Varu bullshit. It has a nice dub, and lastly, for being just a little bit different. As for bad marks, while you could say, oh, it's just a harem, what did you expect? It's not really an excuse. So, it does get bad marks for having a weak plot. While Kaide, Asa, and Sia get some nice development, the rest of the cast, including Rin and Narine, don't really get much at all. Lastly, and probably my biggest beef with the series, the climax in the last episode is given away, and it's kinda ruined. All in all, I enjoyed myself while I watched Shuffle. Maybe this score is a little high, but Shuffle didn't do the things I hate about harems. So, I give Shuffle a 7.5 out of 10. Normally, I probably wouldn't recommend a harem, but of all the ones I've seen, Shuffle is definitely my favorite. Other recommendations, if you just want a fun harem series, would probably be Bakutu Test and My Bride is a Mermaid. Alright guys, you know the drill. If you liked my review, leave a like, comment, or you can head on over to my channel and watch some of my other videos. I'm Rob the Anime Guy. See you next time.